Sales of Tesla's electric cars have bolted past market expectations in the second quarter as the company delivered more than 200,000 vehicles between April and June. That's helped its quarterly net profits surge beyond $1 billion for the first time. The company says it's on track to boost annual revenues by 50% this year. But the global microchip shortage could slam the brakes on some of the company's products.
Supply chain challenges, in particular global semiconductor shortages and port congestion, continue to be present in Q2. With global vehicle demand at record levels, component supply will have a strong influence on the rate of our delivery growth for the rest of this year. For more on this, Jim Holder joins us now from London. He's editorial director of Autocar and WhatCar. Good to have you back with us, Jim. Firstly, this record profit from Tesla means that it's now managed to essentially boost its finances to be in the black for the 8th consecutive quarter. Can you tell us more about what was behind these impressive results?
Yeah, absolutely. So this time last year, Tesla had its main plant closed as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. So it was able to unlock an awful lot of supply. It's also started manufacturing in China. And actually, it's its smaller models, the Model Y, the Model 3, that are really delivering high volumes and decent profits. Where traditionally car makers make more profit off the bigger cars, Tesla appears to be driving more profit through efficiencies from the smaller vehicles, and particularly, obviously, because of the volumes it's achieving with them. So now, we have a car maker that once was the tricky startup. It's now delivered profits for consecutive periods and is starting to look like one of the big boys. It really has, and Elon Musk talked about this in the earnings calls. It's gone from being one of these small startups now to part of the establishment, and we're going to have to start treating it as such.
That's right, and all this has happened despite a global chip shortage. We know the chip shortage has crippled production of several lines in many of the other traditional car makers. But how did Tesla manage to circumvent that? How did it get around that?
Yeah, it's interesting whether it really has circumvented it. Elon Musk again alluded to some of the conversations he's having to have with suppliers to try and keep them on side, to keep the supply coming through. I think what was key is they moved early, they identified the problem, and they were also perhaps more agile than some of the more traditional car makers in trying to find some solutions. But clearly, from his statements, they are still on a knife edge, and they are still concerned of the impact of these shortages for the coming months, and possibly, from some predictions, even through to this time next year, when they hope to finally have this problem solved. But you're absolutely right. Not many car makers at the moment have good news to deliver. Tesla has achieved that, and they have to, hope to keep riding that good news story, chip shortages or otherwise.
We know Tesla, of course, was the pioneer when it comes to EV products, but also it really needs to get ahead of the game in terms of innovation, because there are so many other competitors out there who are playing catch up. One of the ways in which Tesla could do that is the release of its first electric pickup truck, the Cybertruck, which has just been confirmed is going to be delayed again until at least next year. How important is that new product for the company?
Yeah, I think for traditional car makers, if you announce a vehicle and then delay it, it's really bad news. I think Tesla really has quite a lot of history in doing so at the moment. They've got a new Roadster coming, they've got the Cybertruck coming. The dates always seem a little bit fluid. I think the Cybertruck, it was a worldwide headline grabbing vehicle because of its design. It was front page news because of some of the failures of its launch. There were all sorts of problems when they first showed it with bulletproof windows shattering, this sort of thing. It made national news headlines. Tesla, you can't really judge by the rules of the rest of the car industry. It is critical that they get that vehicle out there. It's going to be really hard to productionize because of those sort of concept car looks and features. But if they can deliver it to the look and feel of that vehicle that they showed, then I think it will be hugely significant in driving the firm forward again, particularly in that American market where pickup trucks remain a dominant force.
Okay, Jim Holder, we will have to leave it there, but great to get your analysis as always. Thank you.